Okay, it's been, I'd say 3 days. I got home Wednesday, this is Sunday, so it's been 3 full days since I've been out here. Um, I haven't looked at the garden yet, so we're going to go check it out together, and we'll just see if anything's dug up all the plants or ate on them, or if any of them didn't take well to the transplant. So we'll go do that right now, and I won't cut away, just so you know that we're real time here. Okay, let's see. It looks like there's still some moisture left in the dirt, although not a whole lot. Let's see, the sunflowers look pretty good. They're a little wilty. The tomatoes look like they're drooping a little bit. They probably just need water. Guess I could dig down in here. Yeah, it's dried out pretty good. See, there's moisture about 3 inches down. So it's definitely time to water. I don't know why, but it seems like here in Missouri, you know, it can rain for a month straight, and then if it goes 5 days without raining, everything's a dust bowl. Might be our soil composition not holding water well, or I don't really know, but all the sweet banana peppers look really good. Let's see. Yeah, the green peppers are still looking real good. Alright, so basically we just need to get this watered. Go over here and check out our lettuce. Well, our lettuce stood right up. The lettuce likes it. Alright, well, I guess really the only thing to do is go ahead and I went and got 3 50-foot garden hoses from Dollar General, so I mean, they're probably not going to last years and years, but they're cheap, so that's what I'm after. So I'll go ahead and run them up to the pond and get this thing going. I've got some 1.5-inch pipes right in there that I got from my mom, so I'm probably going to take one of those 1.5-inch pipes and drill a few holes in it, and I don't have any caps or anything, so I'm just going to duct tape the end of it and then duct tape the hose into it. But if it does end up working, then I'll go ahead and get a proper end to screw the hose into, and then a cap for the other end. I'm going to try to see if it won't run like a drip type of system or something here, because it took me like 2 hours to water this garden by hand, even with the hose. So it'd be a lot better if I could kind of automate the system a little bit. If I can't, it's no big deal. I can spend 2 hours every 2 or 3 days, you know. But that's what's on the agenda for today, so I guess I'll cut off here and run my hose and everything. I might show you guys the little float system I got for the hose. So let's get to it. Okay, so basically what I've got here is just some string and a rock and an empty milk jug. So first, we'll untangle our string. I guess it's actually like small rope instead of string, but you know. I always like to get kind of a weird shaped, jagged type of rock. That way it kind of bites in a little better. Okay, so there's our weight. Then our hose will go, you know, somewhere like right about there. And then our milk jug, let's just say right about there. Because we don't need to be like way deep in the pond. We just need it 3 or 4 inches under the surface of the water. Okay, so our milk jug would go, you know, right about there. And our hose would just sit down. That seems like an awful big rock, but these milk jugs will actually hold quite a bit of weight floating, so let's go give that a try. And if that rock is too heavy, I can always just get another rock. Alright, so there's what we've got. There's about 3 inches between the milk jug and the hose. This milk jug will get pulled down into the water just like maybe an inch or 2, so that'll be below the surface and that rock will keep it pulled down, so I'm just going to throw this in. Alrighty, as you can see, that worked pretty well. That milk jug is pulled down just a little bit, but it ain't much. So, that's good. Now let's just run down the hill and see if we can get water. Alright, so this time I didn't need the pump, I just siphoned it with my mouth and managed to not get water in my mouth this time, but as you can see it's working. It's not quite the stream I had with the other set of hoses. Maybe that larger diameter hose and then the 5/8 hose actually did something noticeable, because I mean, while that's a solid stream, so I'm pretty sure I got the full siphon on it or whatever, it just doesn't seem like it's the amount of stream we had, but I suppose it'll work for now at least. Alrighty, so I went up and checked on the hose. I got a little bit more flow out of it. The problem is this is really cheap, you know, light duty hose. So it's got like, not really kinks, but like flat spots. And since the hose isn't really under pressure, it's not enough to go ahead and spread the hose out. So there's a few spots throughout the hose where, you know, it's kind of smashed down flat, kind of. So that's probably what's restricting our flow a little bit. But I mean, that's leaked all the way down in there. It's coming out okay, so we'll see if we can't work with it. Really got no choice, so we'll have to work with it. Alright, the first thing I want to try is just one of these little spray nozzles. See what it does. Yeah, it does a little bit. Right there's what I was interested in. Oh yeah, that's going to make stuff, oh, it's going to make it a lot easier. Just to be able to kind of spray without having to hold my finger over it. That's going to be real nice. And that's a convenient way to shut the water off. And I can just leave this out here just like this, and I'll never have to pull the suction on the pond again unless that end of the hose comes out of the water. So that's pretty neat. Alrighty, I'm going to start with just one section here and see how that works. And this little piece here on the end here, I didn't put that on, that was just already on there, so don't think that's part of the design. Now I've just got a fairly small drill bit in here. I mean, it's pretty tiny, so I can always drill the holes bigger if I want to. but you can't go smaller once you go bigger, so guess I'll just go ahead and start here. Alright, let's just see what it does with the single row of holes first. I just want to take one small step at a time, that way, you know, if it works good or really good, then we can go on to push it a little further. But if it starts to kind of fizzle out and not do what we want it to do, then we know that's when we need to stop. So, I mean, just this one row of holes alone might be just all that it can do, so I guess we'll see. Well, it's starting to work. It just takes it a little bit to fill up with water. Come on, baby. Now down there it's working very well. You know, it's shooting like 1.5 feet down there. We're just waiting for it to fill up here. You know, as it fills up, it'll do another hole, then another hole. Looks like maybe that might be all we're gonna get out of it. That might be it. But even just with that, you know, that's wonderful. I mean, I'll take that. And if I put a cap on it, a proper cap, maybe it'll work even better. Okay, so the verdict on this thing here is it works pretty well. I'm glad I drilled the small holes first, because I don't think it would work very well with the larger holes. See, once we get up here to the end, I mean, it's just barely trickling out the end. It is coming out, but just barely. You know, down in there, it's shooting out a solid stream. So, and I've also found that it just works better to put the holes kind of towards the dirt instead of kind of making it like a sprinkler. Just put them towards the dirt and let it soak in. So, definitely, I don't think it could take another length of PVC. Because like I said, it's the way it works is the water just backs up and backs up and backs up. You know, as long as you've got more water coming in than the holes can put out, then, you know, you'll back up your water and you'll build a little bit of pressure. But I mean, once we get, you know, there's nothing coming out of the end. I mean, that's not really sealed off. That's just, you know, the hose is just stuck in the end of the pipe. But we are getting a little bit of backup up to here, so this is just about perfect. So I'll just let this go for a while, and then every once in a while I'll just scoot it around and stuff. This is a lot better than standing there doing it myself. Now, while this is going, I can go off and do something else if I need to. Okay, so you can tell that it is working. What I'd really like to do is scratch all this 1.5 inch pipe. I just think it's too big. What I'd like to do is go down to about I'd say about a 3/4 inch pipe and drill even smaller holes in it, so that maybe it'll kind of seep out instead of kind of spraying out. Right now I've got all the holes down towards the dirt, is why you're not seeing it spray, but I think definitely if we go to the smaller 3/4 inch pipe, I think that I can connect, you know, at least a couple 10-foot sections together and drill even smaller holes. I think that'll work a little bit better than this, so I just wanted to kind of test the theory and see if it even would work in the first place, and it does. So just as long as there's more water coming out of the hose than is coming out of the holes combined, you should be able to build pressure. So, which right now it's not. You know, more is coming out down here, and then hardly any is coming out there all the way to the end. So there's no actual pressure being built up. But I think that if we use the 3/4 inch pipe and just drill really, really tiny holes, only one set of holes, you know, not like all over the whole pipe, but just one single line of holes, you know, spaced every 2 or 3 inches down the length of each pipe, and then actually put, you know, end cap and a fitting to actually screw the garden hose into the end of the pipe. That way it's all pretty much like a airtight system, you know, obviously except for the holes. The holes would be the only place for air or water to exchange. So I think I might try that. I might get some 3/4 inch pipe and an end cap and a fitting to screw the garden hose into and see what we come up with there. Since PVC is pretty cheap, you know, a 10-foot section of 3/4 inch PVC is only like $2 or $3, so I won't really be out much if it doesn't work. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and let this finish watering the garden. I'm getting kind of impatient with it, so I may just pull this thing off of it and just water the whole thing myself with the nozzle. But it does work. This is the kind of stuff, you know, you experiment with. You know, you can read all about something, you can watch other people do it, but actually doing it yourself, at least for me, I learn more from doing something and screwing it all up than I do from, you know, somebody showing me 1,000 times the right way to do it and all that stuff. I learn way better if I just tinker with something and figure it out myself. So, and then I always kind of end up with something a little bit unique until I go look it up and somebody else has already done it unbeknownst to me. But I'm sure other people have done this. I don't know about if anybody's ever, you know, gravity fed from a pond down a garden hose into PVC before, but it does work. So everybody who's, you know, gathering rainwater and doing rainwater collection and all that stuff and is worried about, you know, using your drinking water and stuff to water the garden, just if you're on a kind of a slight hill, it doesn't even take a whole lot. You know, just a 1 foot difference in elevation over the span of 150 feet is quite a bit of flow. So just dig you out a pond and there you go. Alright, so it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's been about an hour, about an hour since the last time I filmed. So I've gotten both the rows of tomatoes and this way watered. Still got over there to go. And today I brought the rest of my seeds with me, so we're going to go ahead and put those in. I just noticed my flippin' soda's knocked over. Dadgummit! Okay, well, anyways, it's taken a while, but it's a lot more efficient than that pipe was. But I think it'll be a lot better once we get a smaller pipe and I tune it in, kinda, so to speak. What I'd like to do is run 1-inch PVC all the way to the pond and just eliminate this garden hose. You know, maybe put one section of garden hose from, say, you know, maybe about that tree, you know, one 50-foot section of garden hose just down to the garden to give it some flexibility to be able to move it around. But oh well, we'll get there.